All right, so I'm just happy to welcome everybody. This is going to be our basics class, and the topic today is stimulating poses. Poses that enliven our nerves, help to wake us up. They're also uplifting. The poses we did last week are more like soothing, grounding, quieting, and today's poses are like a smile. They're like sunshine in a pose, helping to wake us up and lift our spirits. So I'll be showing some poses today with a small towel. We're going to be doing some chest opening, and some of us are comfortable putting the hands together behind the back, and then I'll show how to use a towel if your shoulders feel tight when you bring your arms back like that. So you might like to have that around. I've got the chair handy, and then also have a cushion by your mat. So we're going to begin today in a restorative pose, and restorative poses are restful, very passive poses. We're going to be using the pillow for this, and it's a restorative fish. If you want to see what it looks like and then jump in, go right ahead. I'm going to position the pillow underneath the upper back so that when I lie down, my head is on the floor and there's this gentle heart opener taking place. Legs can be straight, or bent knees is a good way to take tension out of the low back. Take a moment to get yourself set up. Depending on the size of your cushion, see if it feels like enough lift, or if it feels like too much, we can always leave it out. Let yourself relax. We'll be here for a minute or two. Arms can be out in a capital letter T or letter A. Tune into your breath flow. This position is considered a heart opener. As we lift the center of the chest, you relax your arms with gravity. Feel the shoulder joints heavy, settling down. Your neck is relaxed. The throat is opening. In a restorative pose, the work is letting go. Relax your body and see what progresses as you relax a little bit more. Two more breaths here. See if you can relax just a little more. Reach your arms overhead. Weave your fingers together and reach really long. Stretch through the knuckles. Deep breath in. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Push with your arms to come up and take a seat. We'll be doing a couple poses from a seated position if you'd like to be up on a chair or your cushion. See if you feel any effect from the gentle back bend that you did. See what your spine feels like, your energy level. We'll begin by going through the movements of the spine. And one of the movements we learned last week is called axial extension. We picture the spine as this axis, this long center line, and just begin to lengthen that line. Let your tailbone point down and start to reach your spine up through the crown of the head. There's a little nod down with the chin. And just with a little awareness, your spine gets maybe an inch taller, extending long through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath with your spine long. Side stretch to the right. Right hand is on the ground or the side of your chair. Reach the left arm up. Palm is going to be facing down or to the right. A few breaths. Open up your ribs. Open your arm and trace a funnel shape. Nice big circle. One more circle like that. With your exhale, lower that arm and trade to the other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale to your side. Palm is facing the left, thumb points back. Make space down the sides of your neck. Relax shoulders away from the ears. Slow, deep breaths through the lower lungs. Move your arm, find that funnel shape. If your shoulder has the ability to pop and click, make the shape a little bit smaller so that you're avoiding a lot of clicking in the shoulder. Another way to avoid that movement is to make it more forward instead of back to the wall behind you. Nice. Let's lower that arm. Change the crossing of your legs if you're sitting. Let's reach our arms up again. Exhale, twist to your right. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand is on fingertips behind your sacrum. When you breathe in, get taller through the central axis of the spine. When you breathe out, find a little more room for your twist. Take another breath like that in your twist. As you breathe in, untwist, arms lift. Exhale over to the other side. Right hand to left knee. And check if you happen to dip your spine into the twist and just recenter. Find that central axis. When you breathe in, get taller, a little nod down in the chin. Breathing out, deepen your twist. And take a full breath. Untwist, come to center, reach arms up. Bend your elbows into the cactus shape, and we're going to take the core twist. Turn yourself to the right and see how far your ab muscles and your back muscles can help you twist. Nice job. When you breathe in, get tall, arms up. Breathing out, twist. See how the exhale is helping to strengthen your core. When you breathe in, find more length through your spine. Breathe out and deepen your twist. One more breath. Release on your exhale. Come to center. And we'll be transitioning onto hands and knees, table pose. A few methods we talked about before class started. If you have any wrist issues, there's a flat fist position where it's like you're punching the ground. There's also an option where you roll up your mat and then put this under the heel of the hand for extra padding. Hands are beneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips, as wide as the hips. Starting in cat and cow, as you breathe in, open your heart, tip the tailbone up. Breathe out, use your abs to arch your spine. Inhale, shine your heart, shoulders back. Exhale, curl under, forehead toward the belly. Move on the pace of your breath. See how you can really use your ab muscles to help with the cat pose, rounding in, using your core. Finish this pose by taking creative movements. This could be a side stretch, like the letter C in your spine. It could just be moving in a different way that feels nice on your back. Let's make our way back into child's pose. Sit hips toward the heels. The knees are about as wide as the shoulders, enough to give your belly some space to breathe. Forehead comes down, and if your forehead doesn't quite touch the ground, stack up your hands so it can rest on your hands. Let your spine fully relax here. Draw your breath in slowly and deeply. See if your breath can affect your spine, stretching it from the inside. Rise up into table, and we'll be taking the low lunge or Anjani Asana. Step your right foot forward, and we're going for a vertical shin, meaning the knee is right over the ankle. Curl the back toes under and step that knee a little further back. So we want to be more like above the kneecap rather than under it. The back foot can be adjusted so that your knee is comfortable. Push down into the front foot and begin to lift up. Ground into the front heel, arms high in the sky. Enjoy a couple of breaths. See if you can get your ribs high, spine lengthening upward. Nice. Let's release our arms down and row it out. Straighten out your front leg, any amount, and then bend into the front knee. So we're just going to move gently in and out of that pose. If anyone has trouble with your knees, I have some students who do this version with hands on the chair. So they would have their foot beside the chair, and then we can bend and straighten from there. In this case, I wouldn't have to put my back knee down. So that's just an option. Make your way back into the table pose. There can always be a little cat and cow movement before you change sides. If you want to release your back, see what you notice. Left foot forward when you're ready. We're going to step that foot through so the foot is between the hands and closer to the left hand. Tuck your back toes under and bring that knee further back. One alignment point is that your front foot and your back knee, they're like parallel skis. They're parallel to each other and not on a balance beam. So we're not all in one line, we're in two lines. Get ready to lift up, push down with that front foot, sweep your arms overhead. Palms face each other. Engage in your hips by dragging the front heel and the back knee closer together. I envision like clothespins. You're just kind of pinching the legs toward each other, and that will strengthen your thighs, your hip muscles, allowing for a deeper release. Finish with a deep inhale. Exhale, touch the mat. Let's row it out. Send your hips back, straighten the front leg a bit, and then come forward. See how this movement can help to open your hamstrings and relax your back. Great job. Let's make our way back into table. I wanted to show some other lunge variations that we sometimes see in yoga. Step your right foot forward again. And this time we're going to take a lunge with our back knee lifted. So tuck your back toes under, push down into the front foot, and think of making your spine longer. Yeah, nice. And one more version of the lunge. Let's just put our back knee down. Take your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe the right foot out to the edge of the mat. And this is sometimes called a lizard lunge. So we've got the right arm inside of the right shin bone, and then we can feel it's a little deeper hip stretch. Try going forward and back in the lizard lunge. Nice work. Step it back into table. Try your left leg forward. So here we're going to try lifting the back knee. We've got our front shin vertical. Tuck the back toes under, lift that knee up. Stand into your feet. Activate down. Think of reaching your heart forward. There can always be more space between the feet if you need more breathing room. One more breath in. Exhale, set the back knee onto the mat. For lizard lunge, left hand to the inside of the left foot and heel toe your left foot out to the outer edge of the mat. Release the hips forward and down, getting a nice deep hip opening. Take a little movement if you'd like. Shift the hips forward and back, any amount. It's not necessary that the leg be totally straight when you reach back, just easing in and out. All right, back into table. Take a moment to release in child's pose. If there are props that help your child's pose, we have our nearby cushion. Some of us found it helpful to have a cushion under the chest. Some of us may find it helpful to put a cushion under the back of the knees. We'll take a few moments to relax, drinking in the breath. Make your way up into table. Any questions about the lunge? All right. It's a great pose. It's powerful, really warming up, activating the hips. Next, we're going to play with downward dog. And if you want to just watch and then join in, feel free. From table, our handprints are going to walk forward, tuck the toes under, push into your hands, and lift your hips up. Let's start with a bend in the knees and think of just lengthening out your spine. Relax the back of your head down toward the floor and reach your tailbone up, up, up into the sky. Slowly straighten one leg, press that heel toward the ground, and then alternate sides. Bend one knee, push the other heel down. This is walking the dog, just starting to open up our legs. Deep breathing. Nice job. Take your knees to the mat. If your wrists need a little break, just lift them up, give them a little circle. We'll visit downward dog another time. Before we come up, start by bending and straightening your elbows. Notice where your elbows bend. For a lot of us, when we bend our elbows, they point more to the sides. And for downward dog, see if you can rotate your shoulders so that when you bend your elbow, it's more pointing back toward your knees. And that rotation, you might start to feel it's kind of coming from around your shoulder blade. Nice. Think of having that rotation. It's like another way of saying that is the eye of the elbow. The inner elbow is trying to look forward. Peace fingers are also pointing forward as you plant your hands. And try that alignment in downward dog again. Curl your toes up, push with your hands, and see how that feels in your shoulders. I'll leave it up to you if you like to keep a bend in the knees. That's supportive of the low back if you have any issues, or try straightening the legs. Let your heels release downward. Enjoy 2 breaths in this inversion. Downward dog, we're upside down. Bend your knees and transition forward. Walk your feet forward or walk your hands back, whatever you need to do to stand up. Take a deep breath and reach your arms up. With your exhale, hands by the heart. Take a moment to see how you feel from downward dog. Any questions before we move on? All right. So we did downward dog, which is considered an inversion because our head is below our heart. So it increases circulation, blood flow to the head. For a lot of us, it's like a little stimulant. It kind of wakes us up. Let's stand in the center of the mat and find your mountain pose, Tadasana. Lean forward and back a little bit until you find the still point. Your body weight is balanced on your footprints. Find even weight from left to right sides. The breath is flowing. Shoulder blades relax down the back. Strengthen your leg muscles as you push your feet down into the mat. Engage the arches of the feet. Draw the forefoot and the heel slightly toward each other to turn on the arch muscles. From your strong legs, let your breath flow. Relax any tension out of the shoulders. Crown of the head floats up. Breathe through your lengthened spine, through your whole body. Tadasana, the mountain pose. Step out wide on your mat. We're headed into Warrior Two. So we start with our feet parallel and then go ahead and turn your right foot out to the short edge of the mat. And the back foot will be slightly angled in, so heel is slightly wider than the toes. Start with hands on hips and bend into your front knee. Bend and straighten. As we do this, watch your knee track. The knee is tracking down the center line of the foot. Deep breaths. If your knee can bend past your ankle, then readjust your stance. Walk your foot a little forward so that you have that vertical shin, knee above the ankle. Keep the bend in the knee, and we're headed for side angle pose. Sometimes it's also called lateral angle. Shift out to your right and place your forearm on the thigh. Plant into your back foot to help reach and lengthen the side of your hips. Sweep your left arm down and up. Reach that overhead, and you're in side angle pose. Find your breath. Strengthen down through your feet and reach long through those fingertips. Opening your spine. Take one more breath here. When you exhale, push down through that front footprint. Inhale, back up, Warrior Two. Exhale, arms come down. Switch out your legs. Turn your right toes in and left toes out. Hands to hips, and start with that gentle knee movement. Bend and straighten into the front knee. Be mindful of your spine being vertical. Shoulders are above the hips. One tendency in this pose is that we head into the side bend too soon. So Warrior Two is straight up and down. Check in on your front knee, that it's bending down the center line of the foot. Another check for that is that you can see your big toe when you look down on the inside of the knee. Stack the knee over the ankle and shift into side angle. forearm on the thigh. Sweep your top arm down and around. So we've got the palm facing down. Bicep is beside the ear. Use your back foot, really press it down and see what starts to open up. It helps to open your low back, the side of your rib cage. Breathe deeply and plant into your feet. Take a lot of strength into your legs. Getting ready to come out, use the exhale, power down into that front foot and push up, warrior two, arms to T. When you exhale, just drop the arms and we'll shift out of that foot position. Heel toe your feet into center. Shake out the legs a little bit, see how you feel. Tune into your breath. See if you feel expanded in your body. Extended side angle, one of my personal favorites. Next is where you may like to use your small towel. I'll show you the pose we're going to be doing. With the feet wide, we're going to come into the forward fold with a chest expander. So before class started, I just showed this prop, but from a back view, some of us will be comfortable having the hands together, but I found that for some people to get the hands back there, it actually tightens your shoulders and your neck. So the small towel is available just to hug between the hands, so you're going to be stretching out your shoulders. Plant into your feet, reach your knuckles down as you lengthen your spine up. Yeah, so we're stretching the shoulders, and when you're ready, start to tip forward. See how far you'd like to go. Straight spine is the most low back safe, or you may like to round and curl in a bit as you release. And keep reaching your knuckles up. Get that nice shoulder stretch. Shift your body weight slightly forward into the forefoot more than the heel. Your heels are still on the ground, but we're just kind of tipping forward a tiny bit. Get in touch with your breath. Strengthen down through your feet, getting ready to stand up. Really use your feet, tone your core, and come on up. Great. Let's just release our arms, walk the feet together. Stand in the mountain pose and see what you feel. See what's happening in your body. Any questions so far? Things you want to clarify? All right. Welcome, Pamela and Jerry. Nice to see you guys. All right, I'm going to show us a couple of balance poses. So we're going to go for warrior three. I wanted to show you the full pose and then show you the steps to get into that pose. So just watch first and then I'll show you how to come onto the pose. So warrior three is kind of like the letter T, where I'm going to be balancing on one leg. And then the full pose includes the arms reaching forward. So that's what we're going to be playing with. And rather than getting all the way into the letter T, I like to start almost like our body is a pair of scissors and we're just slowly going to start opening and finding our balance. Start out in your mountain pose and really pay attention to your feet. Get rooted and grounded. The feet are just about parallel. Hands on the hips. Shift weight into your right footprint and just left toes back. Keep your left toes on the ground and find this long line through the left toes, up through the heart, through the back of your head. So this long line in your body is getting longer. Any amount, begin to lift your back leg. Think of keeping your spine and your left leg in a single line as you tip forward. And whenever you wobble out, just come on down to where you started, left toes to the mat. So we're simply going to move toward that letter T shape and then come out. If you feel very steady, maybe you stay in that shape. And this is warrior 3. One thing we're looking for is that we're keeping our hips facing forward as opposed to turning open to your left. It's like our belly and our chest are facing forward. Just give that one more try. Keep reaching through the left foot. Reach, reach, reach. Come up to stand. Shake out your legs a little bit. See what has happened in your right foot. Balance poses are very strengthening. So the core muscles, the deeper muscles like the arch of the foot, your ankle, your calf muscles, we feel those activated in the balance pose. Find hands on hips and start to take the other side. Activate your left footprint into the mat, really push that down and just shift your weight over. Reach right toes back. And there's no rush. The goal is just to find a moment of balance and then come out. Think of the back leg leading the pose. Really reach through that leg, push it back and lift it up any amount. If you feel very steady, maybe you make it all the way into the letter T. We'll be feeling our back activated, like our glutes, even the hamstring muscles. The whole back of the leg is strengthening. With hands on hips, think of keeping your belly pointed forward like your front foot. Just give it one more try. Give it another deep breath. All right, let's step down, shake that out a little bit. And we're going to come into a forward fold, or I'll ask if there's any questions about the warrior 3. Nice. It's a really powerful pose. I like to say it is one of my nemesis poses. It's one of my hardest poses. So if it was challenging for you, you're not alone. It's hard for a lot of us. All right, the standing forward fold. So we're starting in Tadasana with the feet about hip distance apart, or whatever position feels right on your back. Inhale, sweep arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. This is where you could have hands to chair or reaching down toward the floor. Strengthen down through the feet and see if there can be a progressive release. Each time you breathe in, your inhale creates some space and your exhale brings a release with gravity. Enjoy 2 more deep breaths to feel your pose. When you breathe in, rise up strong through the feet. Sweep arms high. Exhale, hands by your heart. So next we're going to come down into table pose. If you want to grab a drink of water on the way, go right ahead. We're coming into some deeper back bends. So the back bending positions, I think of them like a fountain of youth. They're very strengthening for the back. They help to release the kind of the hunchback position, and they bring more alertness through our brain and our nervous system. Walk your legs back and lower slowly to your belly. We're going to take the Cobra pose. Have hands beside your chest. Hands are spread wide like you do in table, fingers reaching wide. Pull the elbows toward each other and start to lengthen your heart forward. For our first Cobra, just think of making your spine long and Without really pushing your hands down, lift with your back muscles to get your chest off the floor. Let's push with our hands, use your core, come up to table, and then walk the knees for child's pose. Open up your back, shift yourself back. A few deeper breaths to open up your spine. Make your way forward and come down to your belly once again. We're going to take a variation of the Cobra, which is the Sphinx pose. And like the Egyptian Sphinx, we're going to be standing on our elbows. Walk your elbows underneath you. The elbows are shoulder distance apart. You could always reach your fingertips to opposite elbow just to check that measurement. And then fingers point forward. Reach the chest up. Drag your elbows slightly back and pull your heart forward just like a 1/4 inch to feel the opening in your chest. Nice job. Let's press ourselves back into child's pose. Do that on an exhale. Really use your core to lift up. Nice. And sit yourself back. And take a deep breath here. Come forward. We're going to do a 3rd back bend all the way to your belly. Hands are beside the chest. Lift your heart, and this will be a little bit higher Cobra. If you want to press with your hands a little bit, make sure your low back is feeling happy with that. Come up as high as you'd like. Nice. Slowly release, push with your hands back into child's pose. Make your way up into table on your hands and knees. Reach your right leg back, bend that knee, and point your foot up at the ceiling. And kind of look behind you. Just check that your foot is like, if you had a stamp on your foot, you would rubber stamp on the ceiling. And just do that stamp a couple times. Woo! Lower that leg and try out the other side. Left leg back, bend that knee, point the sole of the foot up at the ceiling, and just a couple little stamps. Push, push, push. Nice and strengthening for our glutes. Nice. We'll go ahead and lower that down. For a quad stretch, we're going to balance on our left knee, and your left hand, I'll show you, it could be on, you could be leaning on the chair, or you could have your hand on the floor. Bend your right knee and hold that ankle. We're going to stretch out our quad a little bit. Pull the heel toward your bum and reach through the knee. Find that length in your spine. Think of a long line through the top of your head and then down through the knee. The front of your chest is going to open as you push the foot into your hand. And if it feels weird on your knee, just change the angle, like lift your knee higher or lower until your knee feels okay. All right, let's lower that down, and we'll switch over to the other side. So right hand is on the ground, or you can rest on the chair. Let's bend that knee, take the ankle for a quad stretch. Heel toward the bum. Activate your foot, stretch out your toes, and start to kick back. Push the foot into the hand. Your hand is going to hold the foot as you open wide. Deeper breaths. Make any little adjustments so your knee feels good. Quad stretch, front of the thigh opening up. Nice job. Start to lower down. And we'll make our way up to standing. All right, so we're gonna do one more balance pose. This is Dancer, Natarajasana, the cosmic dancer. If you wanna have a chair or a wall nearby to help with balance, feel free. Dancer pose is gonna begin much like the Warrior Three. Start with both feet on the mat and just find your balance in mountain pose. Feel all the activation that's been happening in your spine and your legs. Center your weight over your right foot and reach the left leg back. Right hand could be out for balance if you want. And we're going to hold that ankle. If your hand doesn't quite reach the ankle, no problem. Just reach them for each other. So with dancer pose, we're going to be pressing the foot back and reaching the heart forward. So we're doing a standing back bend. Like you pushed and you did that rubber stamp with your foot on the ceiling. Do that here. Really push up. Take a couple of breaths. And the cherry on top, if you like cherries, is the right arm reaching up, or keep using that for balance. Slowly come out, use your core a little bit, step down, shake the legs out, dancer pose. A balance of strength and grace. Find your balance on both feet. Find your breath. Shift over into your left foot. Left hand could be used for balance if you want. Right toes are reaching back. And either clasp your ankle or just reach back. I'll show if you need to bring your knee kind of really out in order to get the ankle, it's better to keep the knees kind of like neighbors instead of getting that lifted knee out to the side. So we're trying to point the kneecap down. As you kick into the pose, your knee is going to point more toward the back wall, reaching up into that back bend. Put a little bit of ab tone into the pose, draw the front ribs in, firm up the low belly, and see how that expresses in your spine. For a lot of us, it takes out any pinching in the back bend to strengthen our core just a little bit. As you breathe, just an option is to lift your left arm. Find the central axis of your body from your left foot all the way up through your spine. When you exhale, slowly come out. Shake it out a little bit and relax. We're going to take the bear twist. So just measure the space around you that you can do some helicopter spins. And feet are about 2 to 3 feet apart. Get some momentum to just twist out your back. And if you look at my feet, we're kind of spinning in. So whichever way I'm turning, the back heel is just going to lift to help spin from the hips. Let your neck turn with the pose, relaxing the neck. Have a little fun with it. Deep breath. Nice. Let's just slow that down. We're going to be taking a relaxing forward fold. I'm going to show how to do the pose either with a wall or a chair. And if you have like a couch or something nearby, that's a great way to do it too. So the pose we started class with was a restorative pose. And so this is also going to be a restorative pose. We're resting, we're being still. If you're using the wall, you would be coming down into a forward fold, and you could either have your hands on the wall or walk a little closer and put your elbows on the wall. And it's in this way, we're just getting some support to help release the back. And then if you were doing that on a chair, you would just be coming forward Like for me, it's comfortable to get the elbows here, or maybe you would be using like something higher, like the back of a chair, to release forward. Take a moment to experiment. In our forward folds, we're trying to have the hips above the knees as opposed to the hips being behind the knees. So see how you can get your footprints right underneath your pelvis. We'll take a little bit of time to relax in the pose. A couple of deeper breaths. See if there's a way that you can rest here. Relax your neck. Soften the junction between the neck and the shoulders. Feel the strong line of your legs and let your spine just relax forward off the cliff of your hips, just diving forward. Enjoy a few slower and deeper breaths. Take your time coming up. It may feel nice just to pause about halfway up, bend your knees, let yourself acclimate. We're slowly going to come down and have a seat. Before we wind down, I just wanted to see if there were any other questions. All right. Take a moment to tune into how you feel. The back bends and inversions are very uplifting. They help us to feel enlivened. Let's see what the effect is for you. Make your way down to lie on your back. We'll take the figure 4 stretch. Begin with feet planted on the mat. Cross right ankle over the left knee. And the first phase of pigeon is just going to reach the right knee forward. And if that's a lot of hip stretch, then you just stay here. If you'd like a little more stretch, reach hands around the back of the left knee. Draw that in. We're stretching the muscles that are deep to the glutes, underneath the glutes. You might feel that along the inner thigh, the outer hip, the outer thigh. The breath is slow and deep, helping to open the hips. As you exhale, step the left foot down and then the right. Take a breath to become even in your spine. Second side, left ankle crosses the right knee. First phase of the pose, reach your left knee away. And you're going to be using some of those deep hip muscles to do that. If that's enough stretch, this is your pose. If you'd like a little more, hands around the back of the right thigh. Soften shoulder muscles, chest muscles. For extra knee support, flex your left ankle. Bring your attention through your left hip area. Watch the parts of the stretch that have your attention and see if things shift as you hold here and breathe. With an exhale, right foot to the mat, both feet down. Space your feet out so they're about as wide as the mat. Reach your arms out into the cactus shape and take some windshield wipers. Gentle twists side to side in the knees. As knees go side to side, just an option is to rotate your head opposite to the knees. When the knees go right, your head goes left, and just slowly side to side. Center your knees and hug them to your chest, either hands around the knees or behind the legs. Take a few little curls. Exhale, lift the chest toward the thighs. Inhale, come on down. Take that a few more times. Exhale to curl up. Inhale, come down. Set your feet on the mat and stretch out for final relaxation. If you have your pillow nearby, it could always be used under your knees to support your low back, or just like a pillow under the back of your head. Eyes closed softly. Let yourself relax deeply. Soften the face. Relax the jaw and the tongue. Relax the lungs and the heart area. Relax inside your belly. Relax inside your pelvis and your hip joints. Soften the base of your spine as it rests on the mat. And then just trace your awareness up your low back, mid back, relaxing the whole spine, all the way through the neck and to the top of the head. Let your scalp relax. And we'll take a moment to simply be quiet, to be still and relax. Slowly deepen your breath. Observe how you feel, in your body and in your state of mind. Reach arms up overhead slowly. Gentle stretch. Bend knees one at a time and roll slowly to your side as you come to sit up. As we finish class, find a tall spine. See if you notice the effect of your practice and find some gratitude. Bring hands together in front of your heart. Thank you so much for being here. It's been really wonderful to practice with you this afternoon. Namaste.